Welcome to the Age is Irrelevant podcast with your host, Helen Fritsch. Helen is a 60-plus, lifelong competitive athlete, flight attendant, published fitness model, writer, IFBB bodybuilding pro, and certified wine specialist who believes that your age is irrelevant to pursue goals, dreams, and desires. Are you a woman in her 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond who still has a burning desire to pursue a dream or a passion? Are you thinking about starting a new chapter in your life, but you're hesitant, thinking that you might be too old or just don't know where to begin? The Age is Irrelevant podcast is a podcast devoted to women who want to defy the odds, smash barriers, and redefine happiness and success after 40. It's time to make a difference. There is no need to dread blowing out that added birthday candle every year. A new movement is slowly taking momentum, where being over the hill just isn't relevant anymore. Age labels are being thrown out the window, and women are rediscovering the strength within themselves to make a difference, not only within their own lives, but also touching and inspiring the lives of other women. Join Helen as she and her guests discuss all aspects of aging after 40 and how to make the aging process and those twilight years more rewarding, exciting, and fun.
Hello, and welcome back to the Age is Irrelevant podcast, the podcast proving that strength, confidence, and reinvention have no expiration date. I'm your host, Helen Fritsch, and this is episode number 116. Now, today's guest is someone who has built a powerful voice in the fitness world by helping women take ownership of their health, their nutrition, and their mindset. Sarah Bowmar is a fitness influencer, entrepreneur, and educator known for her no-nonsense approach to strength training, nutrition, and hormone health. She's passionate about helping women build muscle, fuel their bodies properly, and feel confident at every stage of life, from premenopause through postmenopause and beyond. Through her content, programs, and businesses, she encourages women to step into their strength both physically and mentally. Beyond fitness, Sarah is also an outdoor enthusiast, business owner, and mom who believes discipline, resilience, and consistency create lasting results. Today we're talking about women's fitness from across the decades, metabolism, hormones, building muscle as we age, nutrition myths, and what it really takes to stay strong in life. I think you'll love the show, and here we go. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so thrilled to have you. We were just talking earlier off camera about this whole thing. And for my listeners, today on the Age Irrelevant podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome a powerhouse in the fitness and wellness space, Sarah Bowmar. Now, Sarah is a certified nutrition specialist, personal trainer, entrepreneur, author, and co-founder of Bomar Nutrition. She's helped literally millions of women redefine strength through sustainable fitness, science-based nutrition, and honest conversations about body image and wellness at every age. From competing in bodybuilding to creating a multi-brand fitness empire, Sarah's mission is to empower women to build strong bodies, resilient minds, and healthy habits for life. I'm excited to dive into hormones, weight training, nutrition, confidence, and how to truly take control of your health in every season of womanhood. So Sarah, again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I need to just bring you around with me everywhere to introduce me.
Well, and we were also talking about too, is that I've been following you for a long time, and I purchased some of your programs back in 2015, and that I still use today. So I'm just so excited to be able to have you and share you with my listeners. My listeners are primarily like mid 50s, 50s and above, and 40s too, I should say. I've interviewed several women in their 40s too. But you have such a well-rounded background, including bow hunting, which I'm kind of excited to talk about down the road here. Yeah. But what I always like to start off with is your childhood, because that kind of shapes where you are today. And so tell us where you were born, about your childhood growing up. Were you, into fitness when you were young?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in South Bend, Indiana, which is where my love for Notre Dame comes from.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, my brother
Yes.
went to Notre Dame.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yes.
Yes,
I
oh,
was
I've been
born
to
literally
games,
like,
touchdown Jesus.
right.
I'm a flight attendant, and we used to have South Bend layovers, and I would just go over to the campus and just walk around.
Isn't it amazing? Like so many people,
Oh,
like I literally tell, especially if you just love like college football or just like, the entire like collegiate sporting arena, going to that campus, it truly feels like you're in Europe. Like it doesn't even make sense that it's South Bend, Indiana. Like
yeah.
it's hands on. I've been to so many college campuses. Like I've probably been to 50 plus Notre Dame games, so many bowl games. I've been to so many different college campuses for away games, and nothing compares to Notre Dame. Like
I I
it's
can't. I
amazing.
agree. And their bookstore, my
Oh, the
God,
Ham's bookstore, incredible. Like it's a work of art. Like
it
every
is.
every building there is like pure architecture. So yeah, no, so
I've been to several football games too. Because my
yeah.
brother, went to school there, and it's so funny because when you go to these games and these bowl games, and you're like these people that you talk to, literally from all over the world, and
Yeah.
it's just I don't know, it's just crazy. And I went to the University of Kentucky, so of course basketball.
Yeah. My sister went there actually. That's so
Oh,
funny.
she did.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
I have, like, in my closet, I have a section of my all my sports paraphernalia, Notre
Yep.
Dame and UK. So that's pretty funny. But anyway, go ahead. So I'm sorry
Yeah,
to
yep.
interrupt.
So born in South Bend, and then my parents got divorced when I was 5. My mom remarried, and then we moved out to Southern California. So we were in Palos Verdes for about a year and a half. Then we were in Los Angeles for a little bit, and then we were in Santa Clarita, all in like the Orange County area of California. And then on my 11th birthday, we moved to Dallas, Texas. And then I have 3 younger sisters, and my parents always said when one of us was in high school, they weren't going to move. And so after Dallas, we ended up in Toledo, Ohio. And my youngest sister is actually 12 years younger than me. So I was a senior in high school when she was in kindergarten.
Wow.
So they've been stuck in Toledo ever since. But yeah, just kind of moved all over. I went to 4 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school, and then actually went to Ball State for college down in Muncie, Indiana, and really didn't find my love for fitness until after college. Like my best friend and I were roommates, and we would go to the gym and just like hop on the elliptical, and it was just like to check guys out. Like it was nothing like we weren't weight training. Like
Hmm.
I went to school, I graduated high school '07. So I was in college '07 to 2011. And just during that time, it was, the tabloids, and you go to the grocery store and you see just these pictures of celebrities, and it's, oh, she's a size 4, she's overweight. And it's like to grow up with like that body image, that's just what I was always like, how tiny can I be? I need to fit into my 00 Hollister and Abercrombie jeans. Like I just want to be like as rail thin as possible. Like there wasn't this incredible community now of women. Like on social media wasn't even a thing. Like this was back in when MySpace and Facebook, you had to have like a college email to get on Facebook. And so there wasn't anywhere to go to see just these strong women. Sure, you'd see them maybe on like a women's health magazine, maybe, but like back then it was just how can I get super toned and how can I have this super tiny waist? And there was not this like fitness strength movement. And so, yeah, in college, I was 90 pounds soaking wet. Like I was so tiny. I'm 140 now for reference. So almost like another person difference. And I also worked at Abercrombie. So that was like just a complete like perspective switch of like I have to be super thin if I want to be working front room. And it was so like looking back, I'm like, that's so childish, but it was just I was 18, it was just
Hmm.
what I wanted to do. And so yeah, so didn't really find my love for fitness until I graduated. I got my MBA in 2011, and then my ex, who I attribute literally my entire fitness career to, which is so funny, he was a wrestling coach at my old high school. And during state finals, it's down in Columbus. And we were down there with a few of the kids for the state tournament. And we're like, what are we gonna do with these kids? Like, if you've ever been to a wrestling match, you could have 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in between your matches. And so my ex was like, let's just go take these kids to the Arnold because Jordan Burroughs was there, who was an Olympic wrestler, and all the kids wanted to meet him. And so we go, and I'm just like, what is this place? I mean, it's the world's biggest fitness expo.
I love the
There's so
Arnold.
many, like, it's the best. Like, it's such an amazing expo fitness event.
I love
And I
it.
walk in and I'm like, these women, they have muscle and they're so strong and yet so lean and they look so athletic and they're so beautiful. And we started watching the bikini prejudging because it's in the expo, and they're all pros. And I'm just like in awe. My mouth is just gaped open. I'm like, that's what I want to look like. Like, what do I need to do that? And he's like, well, you need to eat and you need to lift. And I'm like, okay, I've never lifted. I was just really a cardio bunny and just kind of started working out, like watching what he was doing, working out, like getting in the weight room and like started getting, the bodybuilding books and started going on bodybuilding.com for free workouts and just really sort of morphing and building what I could based on the very, very, very little information that was out there. And at the time, like so much was just geared towards men. And now it's like it's been a complete like 180 on social media just with how strong women have become. Everyone's loving the more muscle, the better. So it's been a really cool just evolution to witness where like my journey started in 2012 versus where we are now in 2026.
And you got into bodybuilding too. You competed.
Yep, I did mm, 7 or 8 bikini shows between 2012 and 2014. And this was literally back when I had like no money. So I had to coach myself. I never had a posing coach. I like had to buy like a used bikini. Like it was like I was scraping by. But yeah, I did, like I said, 7 or 8 bikini shows between those 3 years.
And what made you stop doing the shows?
Honestly, Josh and I did the Pittsburgh Pro in 2014, and we were both just like, because he was already a pro. So he turned IFBB pro, my husband, in 2013. So he actually won the Arnold in 2012, 2013, and then got his pro card later that year, and then
Mm.
did a few pro shows in 2014. And we were both just like, yeah, that was fun. It was cool to do together, but we kind of want to travel. And I mean, as you can't travel and be on prep. Like you just, I'm sure you could, but oh man, is it tough to be able to get your cardio in, get all your sleep, all your meals, everything has to be weighed. And so we were just like, let's just hang the suits up for a little bit. We want to travel. We were traveling for hunting. And when you're in these hunting camps, you literally have no say in what's being served, what kind of food is there. So we're like, let's just train to train and maybe in a few years we'll get back on stage and we haven't yet, but we might we might in 2027. So
Oh, wow. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I also competed at the
Mhm.
Arnold.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I started competing when I was 56,
Yeah.
and my coach thought I was nuts. And I said,
Yeah.
I want to compete in the Arnold. And back then, there was like no classes. It was just all
Hmm.
open. But I just
Yep.
wanted to do it. And so there was 20 women in my category, and I came in 15th.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And so I was
Especially at the
thrilled.
Arnold.
And I
Like
thought,
Arnold's
I'm in my
huge.
50s and everybody else is in their 20s and 30s. And I
Hmm.
beat five girls. I was like,
Yeah.
yes,
That's
so,
awesome.
and then I won my pro card on my 60th birthday. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
I would have that as my like email sign off. Like that's such an accomplishment.
But it's funny because being a flight attendant, I was in prep a lot and traveling. And so it is extremely difficult because when
Yeah.
you're getting up at 2 or 3 in the morning and then you work a full day and then you're still supposed to get in your workouts and
Hmm.
everything else, it's extremely, extremely difficult.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when you guys started to develop your business. I mean, how did that come about?
So I actually met Josh at the Arnold in 2014. And so I have my MBA in marketing and then he went to school for exercise physiology. And when he came up to me at the gym, which is like a golden rule you're not supposed to break, but it worked out for us. So when he came up to me, he's like, what do you do? I said, oh, I work at a digital marketing agency. What do you do? And he's like, well, I actually sell fitness programs online. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. He had no idea who I was. It's not like he approached me because he already followed me or anything. And I was like, oh, like I've got a pretty substantial following. I'm at like 100,000 followers. And he's like, you're at 100,000 followers and you're not selling anything? I'm like, well, what would I sell? I'm like, I'm literally only like 2 years into weight training. I'm still like trying to figure it all out. And I'm like, I didn't even know like I could make fitness my job. I literally had no idea. Both my parents have their masters in finance. They do not have an entrepreneurial bone in their body. Like they're numbers, they are, 9 to 5, which is that's just them. And they never like I just never had that, I guess, motivation to be an entrepreneur. And so when I met Josh, I'm like, well, I should probably like get certified then if I'm gonna like start selling stuff. So then I got my personal training certificate, became a fitness nutrition specialist, and then we just kind of plugged his programs into my following. We adjusted a bunch of stuff for women and just kind of launched like a really rudimentary PDF training guide that Josh was already using because he also was working at a gym prior to when we met. So he had thousands of workouts that he had already programmed. And he's like, let's just plug everyone into this. And so then I told my parents, I'm like, I'm quitting my job. I'm moving to Columbus and I'm not going to get another job and I'm going to do this fitness thing. And mind you, this is in 2014. So like Instagram is like it's literally just photos. Like there's no stories, there's no videos, there's no like people didn't hear my voice until stories came out. I mean, it's crazy that like the time in which you could build a following then by literally just sharing. I was just sharing like pictures of my cats and like flexing pictures with my like little baby biceps and like written workouts like on the screen. And I'm like, okay. And so the fact that we were able to sell anything before you could link anything too, which is just absolutely crazy. So then we started selling fitness programs. And then in that, so many people are like, well, I need supplement recommendations. And so we started our first supplement company, which is still in business. However, we sold our ownership back to the original owner when we started Bomar Nutrition. But it was just like that, just being so involved with like customer feedback and talking to clients that we were working with online and just hearing what they needed is really what then catapulted the desire to start the supplement company.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
really, really great. And so, do you guys now, I mean, you obviously sell programming, but do you also
Mhm.
work with individuals?
We just don't have the time. I wish I could. I would just need 200 hours in the day, unfortunately. So yeah, everything we do, we're still very hands-on, still very one-on-one, like in the community, but everything that we do is, program based.
Right.
Hmm.
So, what, why do you believe strength training is so important for women at every age?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's completely changed my physique, obviously, but just the confidence, obviously the physical benefits of it. Your bones will be stronger. You are just a stronger human being. You can eat more calories the more muscle you have. Like who doesn't want to eat more? And so for me to go from I want to be 90 pounds in a double zero to weighing myself 3 times a day to now almost 140 pounds, most of that is truly muscle, not worrying about what I weigh. I'm worried about the trends. My body fat is, I don't care what I weigh. If I had my dream body at 400 pounds, I'd be 400 pounds. I don't care. So to me, just to have that shift of, okay, yes, muscle is very dense, muscle is heavy. We're going to be gaining weight. And so just to be able to like get the confidence from weight training, it just bleeds into every aspect of your life. Like you cannot be just a disciplined person at the gym. You have to like it bleeds everywhere. And so and it doesn't take, and that's the thing. It's such a small amount of time to have to have a 24-hour benefit. You can be in the gym for 45 minutes and have these benefits for the entire day. So, I mean, if anyone ever asks like if I only have time to do weight training or cardio, like what should I do? Weight training, weight training all day long. Like it's the most beneficial thing that any woman can do at any age.
And so, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you still hear about women and like working out?
I don't want to get bulky. I'm like, I've been trying to get bulky since 2012. Like, it's not just going to happen like overnight for women. That's just not how it works. So, yeah, like protein powder is going to make me fat. I don't want to get bulky if I weight train. What about the calorie burns? I'm like, you still burn calories when you're working out, and then you burn more calories during the day, but that's fine. So yeah, so I do feel like the trend has shifted from these like very Pinteresty toned arm workouts to now women are seeing the muscle and they're seeing the density and like, ooh, I want to do that. And so that's like of the myths we've kind of shifted now, which is really amazing to see in in the industry.
Okay. A lot of women are intimidated. They go into the gym. I remember when I was in high school and I ran track. I was like a big like track star in high school.
Mhm.
And I would walk by the weight room every day where all the football players and all the guys would, work out. And I would be like, oh, gosh, I would love to go in there, but I wouldn't, no girl would dare go into the weight room,
Mhm.
because that just was not a place for us. I look back and think about how, gosh, we just, I feel so genetically gifted that I was able to do so well just because basically I ate like crap
Mhm.
and still performed well. So but today the athletes today, the kids today, I mean all the things that they have at their hands for nutrition, weight training, even psychological, it's just
Right.
incredible.
Mhm.
um, but for women who are intimidated by lifting weights, where do you suggest they start?
If you're going to a gym, if you can't afford it, or maybe your gym offers like a free, the first free personal training session, I think finding the right personal trainer can be huge for women, whether that's in person or online. That's the beauty of social media now, is you're not just, I guess strong-armed into the people only in your gym. But getting a personal trainer or doing a like strength training class, I love group fitness. I love that accountability. I love then that it's not just like a one-on-one thing. I feel like people are just a little looser in a class because they know there's so many other people, and
Hmm.
so they're not afraid to ask questions, or someone else asks a question that is like, oh, that's actually, a really good idea. So I think group training is incredible, especially when it comes to strength training. But then even finding someone online that you trust, that you just follow their free workouts, or, free YouTube videos. There's so much content out there that women can absorb. And I mean, I see girls every single day at the gym. They have their little phone propped up and they're just following someone's program. I'm like, I love that. You are getting, whether you've paid for that service or whether it's just a free YouTube video or just on social media, like you're getting that trainer that I like this person. They are open and honest. They have certifications behind their name, and I want to look like them. Okay, I'll do their workouts. So I think just finding a resource of any kind, whether it's free or paid or in person or online, is huge for women.
I agree 1,000%.
Mhm.
What about women like in their 20s and 30s versus women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s? I mean, what are your thoughts on that as far as weight training?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, as we age, things start to wear and tear, especially if we haven't been moving our body. So, just starting off a little bit slower, especially if you haven't ever weight trained before and you're, 40 or 50, you might just have to go slower to build up that muscle memory, build up that density. But other than that, I mean, I pretty much train everyone the same, no matter what the age.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's talk a little bit about nutrition and metabolism. So, nutritional needs shift obviously
Mhm.
as we get older. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely agree, especially as hormones begin to shift. And, we just need certain, I mean, we even need different nutrients during the month as women. So it especially, it gets exacerbated as you age. And so, yeah, I definitely think that, as we age, we do need to be making sure hormones are balanced, but then we also just need to just be focusing on whole foods and making as much stuff at home as we can, no matter the age. But yeah, especially as women age, really supplementing well with our protein powders and our creatines and a lot of those recovery supplements, because our bodies just don't recover as well as you do when you're in your 20s and 30s.
Right, right. Um, I know I have my own personal thoughts on this, but what are some of the most common nutrition mistakes that you see women making over and over?
Too much caffeine, way too much caffeine, in the form of coffee, energy drinks, too much wine and drinking. I know a lot of people like probably don't want to hear that, but it really is pure poison for us. And if I could get everyone to stop drinking alcohol, like that would be like my life's mission. But so yeah, I mean, I just think it really just boils down to, that the whole food aspect, and just trying to be as healthy as possible.
Yeah, it does make a difference, and it definitely adds up.
Hmm.
You mentioned protein several times. This is
Hmm.
something that I've dealt with in the past too, that I find that a lot of women that I have worked with in the past, and even people who ask me for advice, women in general just don't eat enough protein.
They don't.
They
Nope.
just, well, in general, they just don't even eat enough, period.
Yeah.
And, and so what are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I mean the protein, I feel like women are just we're start like I said, we're starting to get through that like that protein myth, but I just think it comes down to all this programming that we've had over the decades of protein's going to make you bulky, blah 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 blah. It's like if you actually can get all your protein in, your body composition just changes so much. You recover better, your muscle tone is better, and you feel fuller longer, which is one of the best one of the best parts about protein. So, and I know a lot of women, we're all busy, so cooking, 5 or 6 meals a day just isn't an option. So that's where I also love, being able to supplement and fill those gaps with a protein powder that actually tastes good. And now, I mean, you can enjoy protein in coffee and you can bake with it and you can make it into protein ice cream. Like there's so many cool ways now to incorporate protein powder that it's not just your, gym bro slamming a protein shake and it's super chalky and disgusting. Like protein powders come such a long way in the last 15,
Hmm.
20 years that like it's one of my favorite times and one of my favorite meals, is when I get to incorporate the protein powder.
Right, right. Um, I know I've had a lot of gut issues in the past. I mean, so what do you think about as far as have you had any issues with your gut as far as bloating or anything like that? I
I
know,
I used to. Yeah, I really used to. So I was actually a vegan when I met my husband, which is hilarious now because we're obviously bow hunters. But I was a vegan when I was prepping. And I've never actually done a show where I was eating meat. So like I was really eating a lot of overly processed foods as a vegan, and that's when I noticed like a ton of bloating, just indigestion, gut issues. And but at the time I didn't really know, and I was so lean that it didn't like it bothered me, but it wasn't enough for me to be like something's wrong here. But it was just all those heavily processed foods. And now that I'm eating like a 95% whole food diet and hormones are balanced, like you can just like I never get bloated anymore, which is incredible. Never, not once, not even around my cycle. And I do feel like it's attributed to just high quality food, high quality supplements, rest, recovery, enough water, and just making sure you're getting enough fiber. I know that's not everyone's favorite thing, but
yeah,
fiber is huge.
yeah, no, I actually take a little supplement fiber powder every morning,
Mhm.
just for that uh, reason. What role do you think your gut health plays in weight management and hormones?
It's huge. I mean, our gut is basically like our second brain. So if your gut microbiome is off, you're probably always sick, probably always bloated, you're probably not having regular bowel movements. So our gut is second to none important in balancing, figuring out, finding that homeostasis. Because if the gut isn't healthy, then it essentially is making the rest of your systems not healthy. So weight management and weight control is going to be just a lot more challenging than if that issue was taken care of.
Right, right. I agree 1,000%. Thoughts on fasting, carb cycling, and other popular strategies?
I love fasting. Like I am a big proponent in really just starting to eat when you're hungry. For me, like I train in the morning. I feel better when I train fasted. I feel very heavy if I eat beforehand. And so I really honestly fast every single day from about try to have my last meal around 8 p.m. and then I don't eat again until 1 p.m. the next day. So I have like a 7 hour feeding window and then a 17-hour fasting window. And then my husband and I do quite a bit of extended fast. So about 1 to 2 times a month, we'll do at least a 48-hour fast just for the cellular autophagy benefits, complete gut microbiome reset, helps so much with brain fog, helps with digestion. Like there's so many amazing benefits to doing those extended fasts that we, like I said, incorporate those 1 to 2 times a month.
And what do you actually like drink during that fasting period?
So you can have the majority of like your supplements. Like I still do pre-workout, creatine, glutamine, aminos, nothing that has more than 15 calories in it, but then just a lot of water electrolytes and salt. You can do tea and coffee as long as you're not adding anything to them. But yeah, just really just pick a day you know you're going to be busy and not not in the house and you know hear all the food noise. But yeah, once you do it a few times, it gets much easier.
How do you personally approach nutrition in your daily life?
Whole foods first, protein second, and try to home make as much stuff as I can for the third, but really just focusing on nutrients and not just trying to like quote unquote fill the gaps with macros. Like I haven't counted macros in quite some time just because it was absolutely messing with my head. Now I have the foundation of counting macros and I have a very good idea of, fats, carbs, and proteins in a lot of the foods that we eat, but I also just keep it really simple. I don't try to my kids eat very plain. They literally eat like cream of rice and chicken in the morning. Like they're just very plain bodybuilder kids, which is wonderful. So I try to keep everything super, super simple. And then that actually allows me to stay on my meal plan when I know I don't have this like 30 ingredient recipe to make every single night. I just keep it just really simple and really clean.
That's good. Yeah, I'm the same. It's kind of funny because I'm not in prep right now at all, but I still prep all my own food for work, and
Yeah.
it just you kind of just get addicted to this lifestyle, and
Hmm.
it's just a part of me.
Yep.
Um, I want to talk about menopause. How do hormones impact strength, body composition, and recovery for you? I mean,
Yeah.
you're in probably pre-menopause now, perimenopause.
Perimenopause. Yeah, I think that's where like my hormones were the last time I got checked. But yeah, no, I mean hormones play a role at every stage, but especially during menopause. There are so many changes happening that if estrogen and testosterone are not balanced and not at that homeostasis, like so many women experience all those awful, awful side effects of menopause because you're just ebb and flowing so much and it's so hard to regulate because it's just what our body does, but it's hormones play they are the biggest player in body comp and recovery and sleep and brain fog and libido and hair and nails and skin. Like it's insane how much hormones play a role in especially women.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I've been through all of that myself.
Yeah.
Um, are there any changes in training that you might recommend for women entering perimenopause or menopause?
I mean, I would say try to keep cortisol levels low. Like we don't need to be doing a ton of high intensity interval training because then that spikes cortisol. And if your hormones aren't balanced, bringing that cortisol back down is going to be much, much, much more challenging. So when I don't really do much cardio outside of walking and getting my steps in right now. Obviously, I'm weight training. Obviously, I'm still getting my heart rate up in that sense. But for the most part, I'm doing very low stress workouts where my heart rate isn't going super high, super low, and your body just, it's a systemic reaction where your cortisol then goes through the roof because it's our fight or flight kicking in. But then to bring that cortisol back down is very difficult. So yeah, any woman that's, in menopause or premenopause, like I would just recommend let's do Pilates, let's do yoga, let's do weight training. Let's try to keep that cortisol lower so that it doesn't have that huge spike.
That's great advice. I really like that. So, as we all know, and you might not know this yet, but menopause definitely comes with sudden weight gain, sudden unexplained weight gain.
Mhm.
What are some of the most effective strategies do you think to manage this?
I mean, it's honestly getting hormones balanced and getting on HRT if needed. I obviously am a huge proponent of HRT. I've been on it for almost 3.5 years now. And at the clinic that I started going to, there was this 80-year-old woman in there, like one of my first checkups. And she's like, "Oh, honey, I'm so glad that you're in here doing this. I wish I had started when I was your age. I started when I was 60. I'm now 80." She's like, "Wouldn't you believe it? My twin sister just refused to get on HRT, and now she's unhappy and immobile, and her bones always hurt, and she's always breaking stuff. Where I just did a half marathon, and it was just so cool to like see, like, okay, you have a twin sister. One of you was on HRT for 20 years, one of you wasn't, and just to see that complete lifestyle difference because the one woman's hormones were balanced. She was able to keep
Wow,
moving. It was incredible. So I'm like, that was like a really cool experience for me. Like, yes, I started HRT because I couldn't lose weight after I had my son. My libido was just in the trash. But to see like a lifelong reason to be on HRT was really, really, really eye-opening. So I think just getting a full hormone blood panel and just seeing where hormones sit, seeing if there's any nutrient deficiencies, making sure thyroid is still functioning properly, just really understanding what's going on in your body because there are so many ways, so many peptides, so many things that can be done to lessen those symptoms and just give you a better quality of life because I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong, but menopause can last like years and years and years and years and
Mm-hmm.
years. And some
Mm-hmm.
people never come back down from this crazy hormone, like they just kind of stay up here. And so that's just really no way to live. And for so long, up and honestly, still being told like women just have to deal with it. And it's just a phase of life. And it's like there's so many things that we can do to sort of lessen. Obviously, it's never going to stop, but if we can mitigate the symptoms and just make them less severe, I think that's, something that every woman should take advantage of.
I see so many women online who complain about how miserable they are going through menopause, and
Mhm.
then even personal conversations that I've had with friends, at work or something. And I ask, the first thing I come out with is, have you had your hormones checked? No,
Yep. No, what's that? My
no.
OB didn't say I could do that.
And I'm like, you need to go to your OBGYN and just get a hormone panel done.
Yep.
I have a story. I went to my OBGYN, and I'm like competing and I'm working my tail off in the gym and I'm not putting on any muscle. And I thought, I got to get my hormones checked. So I go and get this hormone panel done. My hormones were tanked, and I just said I'd like to get on, especially testosterone, maybe some
Mm.
estrogen. And my OBGYN refused. She
Yep.
said, but you're 65 years old. This is where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And I'm like, you don't understand. No.
Yeah.
And then I said, I said, I've got this like unexplained, belly fat going on. I said, I'm an athlete. I'm in the gym every day. I'm doing all my things. I said, I know it's hormone related. And she said to me, oh, I think you should look into pool sculpting.
Oh, that was a medical suggestion from an
Hmm.
OB, as if
Yeah.
that would solve the problems that you were having. Like, but I'm not even kidding you. As soon as I started talking about HRT, the amount of stories that poured in, just like yours, from OBs, general doctors, family practitioners, the amount of women who have been gaslit by OBs or told that they're in range. Well, it's like, okay, but I'm experiencing these low symptoms. So even though I'm in range, like some tires need 30 PSI and some need 40. Those are both in range. But if you're given the 40 PSI of the 30, it's still not going to work essentially. And it's one of the reasons that we started our telehealth company. We launched it last Saturday and because so many women, like we're lucky that we had a clinic here that would treat women. A lot of clinics only treat men. They will not even see women. And it's like, okay, I'm literally raising my hand. My OB is telling me that everything's fine, but I'm still feeling like shit. These clinics only service men, or there's no clinic anywhere around me. Like, where do I go to get my hormones checked? And so we started our telehealth company. And so now you have a virtual consult. They will call in labs to a blood bank of your choice near you. Results then get sent to our compound pharmacy. Doctor reviews the plans, reviews it with the patient, and then prescriptions are sent right to that person's door. So there's no more gaslighting. There's no more being told like the amount of women who've messaged me saying their OB told them to quote have some wine and read a slutty book and you'll get in the mood for your husband. It's into the hundreds that medical professionals
Unbelievable.
suggested that. And I'm like, this person is literally raising their hand and coming to you in a very vulnerable way. And you're just completely this is normal. This is what's supposed to happen. This is how you should feel. This is, and it's like
Hmm.
it's so disheartening for women because it's like, what are we supposed to do? So that was our very long-winded answer of our mission of our telehealth business.
Well, congratulations to that. I'm,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure it'll be super successful. I found it amusing that my OBGYN was in her 40s, and I'm in my mid 60s, and she's telling me this is where you're supposed to be, and you just need to accept it.
Right, right,
And then when she offered me cool sculpting, and I said, you do know that I'm a professional bodybuilder, right?
right,
I stood up and I said, this is not visceral fat.
right,
I was just
exactly.
like, and I walked out of that office and I never went back. So
I don't blame you there.
yeah, and I just actually went to like a wellness doctor who was like, absolutely, you should be on it. And
Yep,
it's
yep.
been it's been great ever since. Yeah.
Mhm.
So um Yeah. Anyway, uh, some of the most and what some of the most overlooked benefits of lifting also too, I think kind of intertwine with all that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if your testosterone is low and you're not weight training, you're already going to see a bump in testosterone from that weight training. You're just going to feel so much better. So yeah, there's a lot of really great natural ways to raise testosterone, but sometimes you just need that little bit. Like I was doing everything under the sun when as soon as I had our son and nothing, like I was losing muscle mass, I was gaining weight, my skin looked awful, my hair was falling out, like very I know some of that was postpartum related, but there were some parts of it where I'm like, this just doesn't feel right anymore. And went to my OB and they said, oh, well, you have to feel like this for a year before we'll test your hormones. I'm like, well, I legitimately don't think I will be on this earth if I have to continue to live this way. Like I felt like I was living like up here, like watching myself. It was so robotic. I don't remember the first 6 months of Dean's life. Like I was so low. And for my OB to just say, well, this is how it's supposed to be for a year. I'm like, no, it's not. That day went into the hormone clinic that Josh was already going to. They ran a panel and they're like, we actually don't even know how you've been able to maintain the muscle that you do have because your estrogen is through the roof. Progesterone and testosterone are almost non-existent. And so I'm like, well, there's your answer right there.
No, I agree. It's the same. I mean, mine were like zill across the whole board, and I was shocked, thinking, how do I have the energy? How am I still in the gym? How am I not a raving maniac? So
Hmm.
no, I agree. Um, so what point do you think women should consider hormone testing or working with a hormone specialist?
If you have any low T side effects, I recommend like hormone imbalance doesn't discriminate based on age. We have people that signed up for our telehealth company that are 25 and we have people signed up that are 65. So I think if you're experiencing low T or high estrogen or even low progesterone symptoms, you should absolutely be getting a hormone panel, even if it's just to know the data. A few of our friends, I'm like, just go. That way you know your levels. And then when you look back and you remember, oh, this is what I felt like at 30. These were my numbers. Okay, now when you're 40 and you don't feel like that anymore, you can then look back and see what that data was. And then you can compare. You just have so much more data and so much more information. And so I think at any age, if there's symptoms of hormones being off balance, but that's the other kicker is you also have to be in tune with your body to know because if you've always just had low libido, well, then that's just your normal. So if there's no education and if there's no information being shared or people talking about it, then how is anyone supposed to know that they're not supposed to feel like that?
Right, right. Um, what lifestyle habits do you recommend to support hormone health naturally?
A lot of weight training, a lot of sleep and rest and recovery, dealing with stress, dealing with cortisol, reducing alcohol consumption, focusing on whole food sources, focusing heavily on protein. That's going to help, especially in the form of red meat. It's going to help testosterone levels so much, especially in women. So many of us are walking around anemic, very low iron, very low ferritin. So, I mean, we have beef liver capsules. We every deer we hunt, we eat the liver. Like we love organ meat. It helps so much, especially with testosterone. And yeah, I mean, really just focusing on like those foundational points they will help with hormone imbalance.
What is the name of your telehealth company?
Novus, Novus. So it's Latin for new life.
Write that down. Yeah, no US. Cool. All right. And you did mention sleep. So how does sleep affect metabolism, body composition, and cravings, do you think?
So, I mean, so I actually took a 250-hour course on sleep when I was pregnant with my son because I was just fascinated by it. I read a book called Why We Sleep and it was eye-opening. But I mean, sleep, if you are not resting and if you are not recovering, you're already tired. So all of your systems are just naturally drained. So how do we raise those? Oh, we raise them by caffeine. We raise them by sugar. We raise them by the quick little grabs. We don't have the mental fortitude to say no to that thing because we're tired and we think that it's going to make us feel better. It's going to wake us up. So now we're just trying to wake ourselves up all day. We're trying to get those quick dopamine hits with the sugar and the ultra processed carbs. And then your body just then becomes addicted to that throughout the entire day. Then you're probably not falling asleep very well at night because you've had to caffeinate yourself so much. So cravings are also high at night then because your body is trying to get into this REM cycle and trying to get into your sleep patterns. And so you're constantly fighting yourself all day long. So then obviously metabolism is going to be shot because our body is just eating these ultra processed foods. We're probably overeating when often when we're tired, we're not making the best decisions. And so if you're not sleeping, you're not like sleep is the greatest gift you can give yourself outside of hormones. Like it truly is so vital and important to also get good quality sleep. And that's something. So I've worn, I don't know if you have an Aura ring. I've worn this. Yep. See, you know. So I started wearing it. I've almost had it for 5 years now. And it's
Mhm.
fascinating with sleep and just being able to track and have that data and know, yes, we all know that eating close to bed is bad, but when you have a device telling you like, ooh, recovery and readiness wasn't that great tonight. What did you do the night before? And I'm like, shit, I ate really close to bed. Okay, now I know why I'm tired. Now I know not to repeat that mistake. So if you have like a fitness tracker that can help track sleep and you can start putting the pieces together of, okay, I fell asleep quicker and I had better sleep and more REM sleep when I fell asleep at 10 instead of 11, or I didn't look at my phone right before bed, or I did the sauna, or I took a magnesium bath. Like you can start to put the pieces together when you have the data to validate what you did and or what you didn't do the day before. And so I think that's a super powerful tool too for just understanding our sleep. And as you know, Aura tracks your stress. And so to be able to like look back and see, ooh, my stress spiked really high at noon. What happened? Oh, I had to take that really stressful phone call. Okay, that's fine. Like stress is good for our body as long as it can also come back down. If it chronically stays high, that's when we have the issue. So yeah, sleep is the greatest thing you can do for yourself. And just like I said, having that tracker and having the data to know when you fall asleep the best. What's your perfect circadian cycle and sleep cycle? When should you be going to sleep? What's your chronotype? How long do you actually need sleep? It's fascinating to know just all of that information.
It really is. I just got my ring about 3 months ago, and
Hmm.
now it's just made me so much more aware of my sleep habits, and I'm like,
Yep.
I've got to get to bed.
Yep. My
And
ring's telling me it's bedtime. Let's go.
or it's just like I got a flu shot maybe like a month ago or something, and it told me your body's under a lot of
Major
strain.
signs, major stress. Yeah.
Your body temperature is higher than normal. And I was like, I was laughing, going, "Oh, I just got a flu shot." And so I
Yep.
had like a little bit of a headache, and just my arm was sore and stuff like that. But I love my ring. I mean, I get
Hmm.
up in the morning and I'm like a kid. I just want to see what
Right.
my score
What was my
what my
HRV
scores
score
are.
last night? Yep. Oh yeah.
And then
No,
I love
it's
looking at the sleep graph too, because
hmm
it's eerie how it knows that when you wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, that's crazy.
right. My ring knew I was pregnant before I did with Dean. Yeah,
Really?
it's so cool to look back at the data. Now it has a pregnancy feature, which it didn't have back then. So you can actually tell it when you're pregnant because obviously our stats change as women. But you go back and you can literally see the day I ovulated and then conception, and then body temp stayed high for the entire first trimester. The day I hit my second trimester, body temp came way back down, stayed low for my entire second and third trimester. And then when I gave birth, you can see, like you go back to March 7th, my stats completely shifted, completely flipped. And it's not like I was like, hey, Ring, I want to sell more of these. Like I just had a baby. Can you like skew my data? Like even when I'm like out doing yard work or swimming with the kids and I get on my app and it's like, were you swimming at 3:30? And I'm like, how did you know that I was swimming at 3:30, that I was doing yard work for 15 minutes? Like it is the greatest fitness tracker of all time.
This was the best investment I could have ever
Hmm.
made for myself. I
Yeah.
agree. I want to talk a little bit about mindset, because that's a big thing too. Sometimes we have a tendency to get in our own ways.
Hmm.
And social media too can create a lot of unrealistic expectations. So how do you help women build confidence with their bodies in that respect?
Yeah, I mean it's so true. It's we don't know what's AI anymore. We don't know what's edited or altered. And so I think just in this fitness and health journey, just being confident in your own skin and knowing, okay, I'm doing everything I can. Even if I do everything that Sarah Bowmar does, I might never look like her because we all have different lifestyles, we all have different backgrounds and genetics and it's never going to be apples to apples. Even if someone followed my exact diet and all of our stats were the same, we're just always going to look different. So I just think really it took me a lot of growing up, to be completely honest, to just be confident within myself. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but truly, when I got my hormones fixed, it completely changed everything for me because I just felt like I finally could like step into like my feminine energy and I was no longer constantly looking at other people to compare myself to. I was no longer angry at the world for not looking like someone else and having that jealous factor. Like I now champion every single woman on because I know me now, which is like it's crazy to like think that I was just so bitter and angry for so long for no reason until I was able to just balance everything inside. And then I feel like that just completely shifted my mindset on so many things.
What would you tell a woman who feels like she's too old to start?
Oh my gosh, you got your pro card at 60. You're never too old to start and the time's going to pass anyways. So if the time's going to pass, why not try to be the healthiest, strongest version of yourself? Even if you can't keep up with the 20-year-olds, who cares? You are doing the best that you can do and that's going to add not only quality it's not only going to add quality of years, but it's also going to add those the you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. It's going to add
Yes,
years, but also give the quality back to your life.
right, right. Um, and how do you personally manage negative self-talk?
Lots of therapy, honestly. Therapy's been like a saving grace this year, but outside of that, just really focusing on what we can control and what we can be grateful for instead of what we potentially can't be, but also using I wouldn't say using self-talk in like a positive way, but like, okay, I want a smaller waist. I want bigger glutes. Okay, then every time I'm in the gym, I'm like, okay, you want bigger glutes. This is what we have to do. We have to do the work. We have to be disciplined with this. We have to push ourselves. So really using it in a positive way is, I think, healthy because it actually can help motivate you if you know the steps in order to reach that goal.
Right, right. That's good. Supplements. What supplements do you think are beneficial specifically for women's health and performance?
Obviously, definitely protein powder is going to be huge if you're not getting enough through your diet. But then our recovery supplements. So creatine is going to be great for any woman training, but so outside of the gym, there's so many new studies coming out about the cognitive benefits of creatine, especially in women, and then also for postpartum anxiety and depression. Creatine is so vital. And then collagen is wonderful, as we most people know. We slowly stop producing collagen at the age of 25. That's why our skin just starts to look not as full and plump. Our hair starts to look not as voluminous and, glossy. Our nails become brittle. So collagen supplementation is going to be huge, especially after 25. And then stuff to keep your gut healthy, probiotics, glutamine, if you can get a good quality fish oil for your joint health, a beef liver capsule for those for the iron supplementation, a high quality multivitamin, and I'm just trying to run through like what's in my. I literally just filled my pills tonight, which is so funny, and then lutein for brain and eye health.
Hmm, cool. Um, now, there's so much tech out there. Besides our Aura rings, are there any other like fitness trackers that you really love?
Josh tried the Whoop and he didn't love it. It was like his HRV score was like super weird. He wore an Aura and a Whoop just to like compare them, and the Whoop was it just didn't seem accurate compared to Aura. And then he also now has the Garmin watch that only you have to charge like every 40 days. So he can literally wear it for like a month and a half. And then it's also
Wow.
solar charged. So whenever he's outside, it's always getting charged. So the Garmin seems to be a really good fitness tracker. The Apple Watch is okay. However, most people don't wear it at night, and that's when so many of our readings are actually happening is at night, especially with Aura and when you're tracking sleep and stuff. So Apple Watch is fine for steps, heart rate, tracking your workouts and that kind of thing, but yeah, the Aura literally nothing holds a candle compared to the Aura ring.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that.
Hmm.
So let's talk about your hunting.
Yes.
How did you get into that?
So yeah, so like I said, I was a vegan when I met Josh, and he's been bow hunting his entire life. Like both sides of his family, either they do target archery or they bow hunt. And so our first date was at the Arnold at the just having lunch at the convention center. And I just ordered all vegetables. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a vegan." He literally said to me, he's like, "Well, this isn't going to work. I'm a bow hunter." And I'm like, "I'm not against eating meat. There's just no way for me to get it that I believe is sustainable and ethical." I was like, "Bow hunting sounds pretty cool. Did archery at fifth grade camp once." I'm like, how hard could it be? Like, I'll learn whatever. This like Greek god of a man is standing in front of me. I'm like, yeah, I'll learn whatever you tell me to do. So yeah, so we got my first bow. So we met at the beginning of March and got my first bow, and our pro shop taught me how to shoot because Josh was like, "I'm not teaching you how to shoot in any capacity." And mind you, like no one in my family hunts. I've never seen a hunting show. I've never been on a hunt. I had never even been camping at this point. Like I grew up in Southern California. I'm like, this is crazy, but I'm like, sure, whatever, like I'll do it. But Josh just took like such an educational and mature way to explain hunting. And he's like, it's for conservation. We eat everything we kill. You get to be out in nature. It's just this very emotional experience to harvest an animal and then eat it. And then, especially as bodybuilders, we are repairing and building our muscle with things that we are eating. So he's like, I have eaten venison my whole life, and it's just such a clean protein. It's so good for you, all of these benefits. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So we met, and the pro shop taught me how to shoot, and I shot my first turkey. I'm still a vegan because I hadn't eaten meat. So I'm like, I'm not going to eat meat just because I'm going to eat this turkey. So like, I'm still not going to eat meat. And so I got my first turkey that first season in Ohio when we lived in Columbus, and it was just kind of hooked after that. And we've been able to travel all over the world. Now we've been, filming our hunts for YouTube and social media. Josh started his channel in 2008, and then we really started to just film and produce starting in 2014 when we met because we could film each other, which is great. So we didn't have to have a cameraman following him around, and we were editing and doing all of our own videos and all of our own production and stuff until about 2018 or 19 did we start to hire infield producers. And now we have the largest outdoor slash hunting channel in the world on YouTube at almost 2.5 million subscribers, which
Wow.
is just crazy. And like I said, we've been all over the world. We've been to Argentina, we've been to Alaska multiple times, New Zealand 3 times, South Africa 6 or 7 times, Tanzania 3 or 4 times, Uganda, Mozambique, just Canada, like almost hunted. I think we've hunted 30 of the 50 states. Like it's been a whirlwind now, just like looking back on how it all started. But yeah, it's incredible.
And you've also had the opportunity to donate like tens of thousands of meals to families too.
Yeah, yep. In Africa alone, we've donated over 100,000 meals to local villages, schools, hospitals, orphanages, and it's something that is very important to us to just obviously we know it's going to a good cause, but to be able to like see it and just there's so many rituals and songs and just all these different things that these villages do in these schools that they're just so incredibly grateful for that meat and to be able to experience that, and then also bringing school supplies and even just down to like toothbrushes and socks and just so many things that we take for granted. Everyone there, these kids are just so incredibly thankful for. And it's like it's a pencil or it's a box of juice, or you know what I mean? And so it's coloring book. And so it really puts a lot of things into perspective when you get to do those sort of things.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
So, winding up here, a couple more things. Practical takeaways. If you could give every woman listening 3 action steps to improve her health starting today, what would it be?
So, weight training for sure. I cannot stress enough how important, or even Pilates, or just some sort of movement into your day at the gym that you enjoy, that you can look forward to, whether you're doing it with a friend, or you have a trainer, or you're doing a group, or maybe it's your you time. Like when I go to the gym, Josh and I go at the same time, but we do not train together. Like you are over there, I'm over here. This is like my time to think and just like be Sarah and not be a wife or a mom or a business owner, like this is Sarah time. And I think that's really important for a lot of mental health aspects too. But then, so weight training being number one, sleep being number two, just really focusing on a sleep routine and a sleep regimen that, your body gets used to, whether it's, you take a bath and then you do your skincare and then have some tea and then you get in bed. Like just really focusing on that sleep regimen is going to be huge. And then getting the Aura ring. If anyone's listening, like it truly is incredible to just track sleep. But so weight train, sleep, and getting hormones checked, whether it's at a clinic near you or with us or with any sort of telehealth company, like it's even if everything is fine and you're not even experiencing those symptoms, just to have the data, I think is so important for so many women because like I said, then you can think back and say, oh yeah, at 45 I felt great, libido was through the roof, muscle tone was great. And then when you hit 50 and things don't start to feel so good, at least you know how you felt then versus now.
Right, right.
Hmm.
And you guys have an app also.
Hmm. Yeah, so we have our Bomar Nutrition app, and then I also have my programming app as well for all of our workouts.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
I'm going to do a rapid fire bonus round. It's like a
Okay.
lightning round. So I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you a question and then these are kind of some fun questions. So
Yeah.
here we go. Number one, coffee or pre-workout?
Ooh, pre-workout.
Okay. Favorite muscle group to train?
Glutes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Least favorite exercise, but you do it anyway.
Oh, any sort of rowing. It's just so much pulling.
Okay. One fitness myth you wish would disappear forever.
That weight training makes you bulky.
Oh, I love that. That's really good. Morning workouts or evening workouts?
Warning.
Okay. Go to high protein snack.
Ooh, go to high protein snack. I mean, I love my protein shakes, but I also really like making stuff with cottage cheese. Like the amount of cottage cheese cheesecake recipes on Pinterest.
Hmm.
Highly recommend.
Okay. One supplement you won't travel without.
Our pre-workout.
Okay. So cardio of choice, running, biking, or stair climber.
Stair climber.
All right. One word that describes how lifting makes you feel.
Sexy.
I like that. Oh, and I've seen this couple of your recent pictures too. Very, very. Most underrated piece of gym equipment.
Mm. Resistance bands.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Mm.
And I carry this with me at all times especially when I'm at work.
Hmm.
Um, is one song that you love that instantly amps you up when you hear it at the gym?
Dragula by Rob Zombie.
Oh, okay. Uh, I don't know if you account for this, but do you have a strength PR that you're most proud of?
I don't really count PRs.
Okay. One habit that keeps you grounded.
Hmm. My gratitude prompts.
I like that. Most common DM question that you get.
Oh gosh. Probably when something's coming back in stock that we're out of at Bomar Nutrition.
Oh, one thing women should stop apologizing for.
Taking up space.
Hmm. Favorite post-workout meal.
Ooh, my egg shake. It's 3 raw eggs, chocolate milk, and 2 scoops of our protein powder. It
Oh,
tastes like the world's thickest, creamiest milkshake. It's so good.
oh wow.
Yeah.
A book or podcast that has changed your mindset.
Good Inside by Dr. Becky. It's mainly a parenting podcast, but she has a book and her podcast, like, yes, it applies to children and parenting, but it also has helped heal some like inner child stuff for me. So it's been really powerful.
Oh, that's great. Is there a goal that you're currently working on right now?
If I get back on stage, it'll be in the wellness category. So
Oh,
building up my lower body. I'm just a little too big for bikini now, and I don't want to lose that size.
right, right. Your go-to treat when you want something to indulge in.
Cake donuts.
Oh, I like that too.
Hmm.
And one message that you would shout from the rooftops to women of all ages.
Get your hormones checked.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Get your hormones checked and start Pilates and also weight train.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So if people want to find you, if they want to check out your app, Novus, I mean, or anything else, social media, where can they find you?
Pretty much everything like related to me is just on my Instagram. So at Sarah_Bowmar. And then all of our links, companies, everything's in my bio. And then if anyone does have questions, I do my own DMs. I've always done them. I've been doing them since DMs became a thing. So if anyone messages me, it's actually me responding. I take great pride in that, but it also allows me to like get content ideas, answer questions, and just share information that way.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for taking this time. It's so great to meet you. And
Absolutely.
I had the big smile on my face when I said that you do the podcast, just because I've known you forever, it feels like.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I appreciate you reaching out.
So anyway, I hope you have a great evening. I'm so glad everybody got to sleep tonight. And thank you again.
Thank you.
I sure hope you enjoyed this conversation with Sarah, and here are my takeaways. Number 1, muscle is the foundation of aging well. Strength training isn't optional as we age. It's essential for metabolism, bone density, hormone balance, and independence. Number 2, nutrition must evolve with age. Prioritizing protein, fueling property, and letting go of diet culture thinking becomes more important in midlife and beyond. Number 3, sleep is a non-negotiable for recovery and hormones. Quality sleep supports muscle repair, metabolism, mood, and overall health, especially as we get older. Number 4, hormones matter, but so do daily habits. Sleep, stress management, lifting weights, and consistency often make the biggest impact than people realize. And number 5, confidence is built through discipline. Showing up for yourself daily, even when the motivation isn't there, creates both physical and mental strength. Now, if you'd like to reach out to Sarah, you can find her on Facebook at Sarah Bowmar, that's Bomar. She's also on Instagram at Sarah_Bowmar. And you can reach me on Instagram and TikTok at Helen Fritsch, IFBB Pro, and I'm also on Facebook at Helen Fritsch. And if you want to email me, helen@ageisirrelevant.com. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. If you did, please share it. And until next time, age truly is irrelevant. Take care. And if you haven't bought my book yet, Life Lessons from the Overhead Bin, you can find it on Amazon. Take care. Bye-bye.